Hi, and welcome to Miss B's virtual classroom. What we're going to be doing right now is I'm going to be taking a little bit of time and reviewing some of the vocab we're going to be looking at this chapter. In front of you, you should have a foldable that looks something like this. All right, and the first word we're going to look at is a fraction. Now, you should remember from when we did fractions is a fraction is a part of a whole. All right, so fractions, as you know, look like this: 3/4. It could be, let's say, 2/5. It could be any combinations of numbers as long as, okay, and we have a numerator, which is our top number, and we have a denominator, which is our bottom number. So again, a fraction is a part of a whole. We don't have the whole thing. Now to illustrate this, for example, 3/4 is like this. If I had a whole pie, and let's say I broke it up into 4 equal pieces. Now, this isn't Miss B's perfect circle. Okay, that would mean that I ate 3 of the 4 pieces of my pie. That's what 3/4 means. Part, this is our part, and then the 4 is our whole. How many whole pieces did we have to begin with? All right. All right, so our second word then is a decimal. A decimal is a little bit different. They're all related. That's why we're making the foldable. A decimal is a number with 1 or more digits to the right, which is, of course, in this direction of the decimal point. And the decimal point is simply just our little dot like this. All right, so decimal points, decimal points look like this. We could have something like 0.4. A very common one is 0.5. And then we could even have something like 0.8. We can have an infinite or many numbers that come after the decimal point. As long as it is to the right, that's when we consider it a decimal. All right. So if you wanted to draw this, you could just, list again some examples over here. 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. There's just an infinite amount of decimal numbers. All right. Now the last one we're going to look at is a percent. Now this should trigger some memories from when we did ratios and rates, okay? So a percent is actually a type of ratio. It's a ratio whose second term is 100. And that simply means that it's kind of like a fraction. Remember ratios? Well, let's go over ratios. A ratio compares two or more quantities, okay? And so that just means amounts, okay? So when we think of ratio, or when we think of percents, it's out of 100. And I like to tell students, hey, think about your grades, okay? Because grades are usually out of 100%. So 70 out of 100 would equal a 70%. All right? A 50 out of 100 would equal 50%. Okay? It's a ratio whose second term is 100. The second term is this bad boy right here. Second term is down below, and it's 100. And so the second term, and it creates this percent. Now, if you notice, these three, okay, are percent, decimal, and fractions are all interrelated, and we're going to take a look at that in our next video.